feel best about getting up 23 in the second half or hanging on those last 2 seconds?
Oh, the way we played in the first 30 minutes, I thought we played really, really well, as we've played all year. I thought we played really well against Florida, at times against Missouri, you know, in the first, say, 25, in the last 5 minutes, of course, the way we finished that game. We got another opportunity potentially Saturday or Sunday, correct? Where maybe we can put 40 together of playing at that level. Credit Xavier, my goodness, downhill. Having dug themselves a big hole, of course, they were terrific down the stretch. Again, playing downhill in transition, executing versus zone and man, got some stops, hit some timely shots. I thought Claude down the stretch was really, really good. It was a really good college basketball game. Fortunately, we were able to hold on, of course, against a heck of an effort by those guys.
Mike, what's the value of a win like this in the postseason? I know it wasn't always pretty good. What did the program get out of this?
Sure, as a staff and as a team, we go in there and talk about the fact that we've got to learn from that. And again, we're always going to preach growth and learning through wins and losses. The bottom line, though, is that we just got an NIT win. We got a postseason win against a Big East opponent. It was a good win for our program. It's something that hopefully gives the returning players confidence moving forward. It's another step in the right direction, and it's obviously something that we'll use in recruiting. At the end of the day, everyone wants to be in the NCAA tournament, but we're honored to be a part of the NIT and honored to still be a part of it to survive and advance.
Did you get a good look at Russell's block? Do you think it was one?
I thought it was live. I haven't seen it on film yet.
We talked Sunday about all that was going to go into the prep for this. I would imagine it's been a chaotic 48 hours.
Yeah.
What all went into that 48 hours, and does that make this feel a little bit more rewarding?
Yeah, it does a little bit. It does. Fortunately for us, we try to do a lot of some similar things, both offensively and defensively to Florida. Xavier's got a lot of similarities. Again, both offensively and defensively, with their ball screen motion, with their zone attack, or should I say, with our need to zone them, because of the difficulty to defend their guards off of ball screens and the way that their bigs seal drives. They play with great physicality, not quite as tall and long as Florida's front court guys, but probably even more physical. And then defensively, they're very similar, with their physicality on cutters, with their chasing and blasting of screens on and off the ball, and with their drop coverage, with their fours and their fives. So fortunately for us, we're coming off a game that we had some of the same points of emphasis. We wanted to sell out to zone as much as possible, again, with the really quick turn, so we didn't have to go over all of the actions that those guys run, and they run good actions, of course. And so I thought our zone was really effective for like the first 30, and then they found a rhythm and really got going down the stretch to where we had to dump it and go man.
There were several stoppages in play in the last minute or so. Just what was the message to your guys, knowing that Xavier had the momentum, was trying to finish up?
This is really the same message all year. I'm not creative enough to give a different one, but it's the way I was taught it, and it's what I've always preached to our teams. And your championship level teams, the best teams I've been a part of, don't look at the scoreboard. They play the same way whether they're down 20 or up 20. And stay in a moment. Let's get an A shot. Let's get a stop. Let's get an A shot. Let's get a stop. It's not about, man, I hope we hold on and win this one. Boy, we've played really good for 30. If you're thinking about those things, that you're not in the moment and you're not executing what you should be in that millisecond of the game. It's a game of split seconds. That said, I thought in a couple of our home games this year, when we've got sizable leads, it was a little bit more apparent, mentally and physically, that we were a completely different team than we were the team that built that lead. I didn't see that quite as much in this one. I credit Xavier. I thought Xavier was terrific offensively, again, in the last 10 minutes of that game, I didn't think we had a huge letdown. We had a couple really poor transition defensive efforts in the last minute or two. Missed front ends of one-on-ones. Wasn't perfect, obviously, but we also had some pretty good possessions that resulted in a difficult make, by Xavier guards that just jumped up in the air and made some shots. Good offense is always going to beat good defense.
Why do you think you guys had success getting points in the paint, to get the big lead?
I thought we did a good job of curling some of those screens off of the ball. We had I think 3 in the first half off of Russell passes. Again, they're very physical off of the ball with pushing you off screens, and we just did a good job. When your 5 has the ability on the perimeter to make pretty good decisions, Russ has really grown in that area throughout the year. Thought he made some passes, some of those layups just off of cuts, you don't necessarily think of as paint scoring. You think back to the basket bigs getting baskets, but also some offensive rebound, points, drawing fouls, and then I thought Silas did a really good job getting downhill off ball screens.
Mike, can you talk about RJ Melendez? He played with a lot of energy, he had some real key buckets, defensively as well.
Got the pollen cough going on here.
Hey, well, I'll give him a second to get a sip of water if he wants it. We'll probably finish after one more question after this because our players are waiting, and we're just trying to keep it moving.
Yeah.
And so we'll have one question, and then we'll bring in Silas and RJ will come in, and we'll do them at the table. So,
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
yeah.
Mike, can you just talk about the play of RJ Melendez and some of the energy that he brought?
I thought RJ played really well. I thought he did a pretty good job on Claude, even when Claude made some hard ones on him. He stayed in front of him and he forced long 2s and 3s. But that said, again, Claude hit some timely ones, some big ones. But I thought RJ, he from the second he went in the game, I thought he provided energy offensively. He's shooting the ball well here down the stretch. Getting 14 points in only 21 minutes, was really efficient. One of his better games.
Just wanted to ask about the free throws. This second game in a row that you didn't get.
Yeah.
Many of them anxiety, or because it seemed like most of the guys that were up there are pretty good.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I'm looking at our numbers right now. RJ Sunohara hasn't been to the line very often all year. Brink hasn't had a bunch of opportunity there, but 8 of 14. I'm glad we made 8 of them. Glad we didn't make 6 of them. And be out there still playing.
What is it you'll watch for tomorrow night? Wake and App State, obviously, next matchup.
You can tell Forbes I'm cheering for App State so we get a home game. But either way, I say that I should watch what I asked for. App State's really good. Wake's really good too. I mean, we're happy to be still involved. We watch it closely. More familiar with Wake, of course, having played them. We'll learn more about App State tomorrow throughout the day than tomorrow night.